Hi, this month we're making the Dutchman's Puzzle quilt block. The Dutchman's Puzzle is composed entirely of Flying Geese blocks, and we've used a couple different techniques so far to make those. This month we're going to use a different method. This one takes less sewing time and more trimming time. It does involve just a little bit of waste. I like it a lot because it is so quick to sew. You've already cut the pieces you need for this. They will be in one of the bags that you cut and set aside at the beginning of the project. I have 9-inch background squares and 7.5-inch squares of one of your other fabrics. You're going to position this 7.5-inch block on top of the background block. Right sides together. Don't be measuring them, trying to make sure they're perfect. Just eyeball it. You've already drawn the diagonal line on the back of your 7.5-inch square. Lay it on top, and then I like to put just a couple pins in it. I have sewn 1/4 inch away each side of that center line that I drew. And then I've pressed it flat on the ironing board, and the next thing we're going to do, as I'm sure you know, is cut right on that diagonal line. We're going to be cutting all the way through, obviously, from one corner of the background to the other corner. Just like that. And then the next thing we're going to do is press the seam allowances toward the background fabric. That means the yellow here that I have. So I'm going to take these and press these. With the Flying Geese unit, your seam allowances are always going to be pressed away from the geese part, and the brown is going to be my geese part. They're always going to be pressed away from there so that you can get a nice point on the Flying Geese unit. Now the next thing we're going to do is turn it like this, and then you're going to flip one over on top of the other and line up this point and line up this point. And you're going to draw a line from point to point, just like this. Point to point. Hold your ruler down firmly and pull your pencil at a fairly deep angle so that you get a nice steady line. If you find that your pencil isn't marking on your different fabrics, you can try one of these. This is a yellow pencil designed for sewing. This is just a white colored pencil from Amazon, used for coloring books. So now I've got this. I am matching up the outside corners. I am not matching up that center seam. That is not going to butt up against each other like it would in some other projects we've done. And then just going to put a couple pins in it again. And you can see mine doesn't match up perfectly. And you know what? That's okay, because we're going to be trimming this down. Now you are going to sew 1/4 inch on either side of that continuous line. Okay, I have sewn that 1/4 inch away from the line, and I pressed it just flat. Now I'm going to cut on that line. You will see this is what it looks like inside. And I'm going to cut corner to corner, just like I did before on the line, all the way across. And open these up. And this is what this looks like now. And I'm going to take scissors And I'm going to take scissors and I'm going to snip right in there. Don't cut the thread, but just snip that in there, because what we're going to do is press that seam allowance in different directions at that point. We're going to press it like this and press it like that. So I will snip the other one, and I'm going to press this and bring it right back. All right, so I have pressed these and they look like that from the back. Just see where that little snip is so it can lay flat in there. And this is what they look like from the front. And the next step is to trim them. The first thing you're going to need to do here is find a ruler that has a 45-degree angle on it. Can you see the 45 there? They've got one going this way and then one going that way right there. So the 45-degree angle, you're going to slide right up into that seam that you just sewed. It kind of disappeared there, but that's where it is, the 45-degree line. See? Right there. What I'm going to do is make sure that I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance past that point. So there's my point, and I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance past it. My 45-degree angle is right on that seam. I'm going to hold it and cut. And then you'll do the same with the other one and with all 4 of these. .45-degree angle right there, 1/4 inch seam allowance right there, and cut across. All right, so we're just going to finish on one now. Going to line up that cut edge on one of the lines on the mat, and I'm going to measure over 3.5 inches because that's the size we're working with. 3.5 inches. See, my ruler is a 3-inch ruler. And cut across there. So that's what I've got. Your next step then is going to be to do the sides, and you're going to do those the same way. Going to line up this line here, which is just one of the horizontal lines on here, and the 45-degree line is right on the seam. Now we're going all the way to that corner right there. So bring your 45-degree line and a line down here, and you just cut that. Just like that. Flip it around, and you're going to do the same thing. Bring it all the way into that corner, just like that. This time you're not adding anything for a seam allowance there. It's built into the way this block is assembled. And you're going to trim it like that. Now, in a perfect world, your unit here is going to be 3.5 by 6.5, and mine does appear to be that. So that is how you're going to trim that. As I said, it's more trimming, it's less sewing. So it's up to you which you like. As you saw, there is a little waste involved with this one. I like this method. I like the other methods, and it's good to know lots of ways to do things. I'm going to go over the trimming method one more time here, and hopefully you'll be able to see it better. This is the back side, and this is the front after you have done that last line of sewing and cut them apart and pressed them. So the first thing you're going to do is cut them apart, and you're going to do that by lining up that 45-degree line, 45-degree angle. See it right there? I'm going to scoot it over so it's right on that seam. And then we've got the 1/4 inch past the tip of that point. I'm going to hold it here and cut straight across. And set that one aside. And you're going to do this one exactly the same way. 45 degrees. Bring it down so you have a 1/4 inch past that point, and the 45-degree line is on the seam. Cut across. Now you're going to cut this to 3.5 inches from the edge you just cut over to here. My ruler is 3 inches. This is 3.5 inches, just like that. Okay, now we're going to cut the sides of this. This point will be in the corner of your rectangle. This point will be in the corner of your rectangle. Line up your 45-degree line. See, there it is. Bring it right into that corner. So right here, where that brown triangle is, the 45-degree angle and this horizontal line there. That, trim it straight across. Okay, flip it over, and you're going to do the same thing over here again. Here's your 45-degree line. Can you see it there? And bring it right into that corner, and you're going to have that point right in the corner. Okay. Okay. That is 6.5 by 3.5 inches. Okay, I'll do it one more time. We've done the 1/4 inch past here. Line it up. There, cut 3.5 inches. Line up your 45-degree line right on that seam, and your corner is right down there. And again over here, 45-degree angle, just like that. There. I hope you found that helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.